Are you going through a divorce or are you approaching divorce? Do you know that divorce does not have to be difficult? It doesn't have to be a knockdown, drag out fighting match. In fact, divorce can be a very peaceful thing. How do you ask? Well, let me tell you. When two people approach divorce with a strong mindset of being kind to one another, respecting one another, doing what is most importantly right to the children, you're going to be okay. Everybody that I know who has gone through a divorce has stressed to the max. I get it. I've been there myself. It's stressful. However, it doesn't have to be. So I'm here today to give you some tips on how navigating through divorce can be easier for you and not such a stressful thing to go through. Welcome to Paralegal Life Unfiltered. I am Janice. I have been a family law paralegal for 37 years, and I'm here to provide support, guidance, share stories of navigating through the court system, some of the difficulties I've seen people go through, some of the tips that people have even provided to me that have helped them that I can share with other clients. So I am here to help you in any way that I can to keep you grounded while you go through a divorce. So a divorce is difficult, right? So you got the debts, you've got the property, you've got things that need to be split up, you've got to work out parenting time, you got to figure out child support. You can do all of that on your own. You do not have to go take your matter to a judge who doesn't know your family, who doesn't know how you guys tick, who doesn't know what's best for your children. You're going to have a judge who doesn't know anything about you make a decision simply because two adults can't sit down together as grown-ups and work out an amicable solution. There is no reason, absolutely no reason for anything to be threatening. You don't have to promise that you're going to take the kids away. Why would you do that? Why would you threaten that when a child needs both parents? Why would you ever do that? So try not to ever put your children in the middle. So the first tip I have is approach everything with kindness. I know it's difficult when you got somebody that you're divorcing who may be a narcissist, all right? It's hard to deal with those types of people. However, if you approach it with a kind manner and a level head, you're going to get through this knowing that that person is not going to trigger you into saying something that you later regret. They're not going to push your buttons, because the one thing that people generally will do will say something because they know it's going to set you off. The biggest thing is, you will never get a dime from me, or you will never see your children again. If you divorce me, I will take all of the money and you will end up on the street. That's not going to happen. You know, the court's going to divide the property equally between the parties. Both parties are going to have parenting time with their children. So to say things like that is really just going to push that person's button. And hey, you were married to that person. They know exactly what buttons to push in you to get you to react. So reaction, keep it straight across the board. Don't react. Let it go in one ear and out the other, because they will say certain things to get you upset. So if you stay grounded within your own self, you will do fine. Second, be sure to surround yourself with really good, uplifting, positive people, okay? Don't involve family members in your divorce. Don't start getting people, to try and side with your position. Don't compare your divorce to somebody else's, because there is no two cases identical. They might be very, very similar in so many ways, but they are never going to be identical. So when people say to me, well, my sister's cousin got this out of her divorce and she got spousal support. Well, okay, that might be based on completely different financial circumstances than what you're dealing with. So never compare yourself to somebody else. That's just not going to be serving you best, okay? Children, this is the big one. Don't put your children in the middle. Don't use them as messengers. Don't tell your children that, their father or their mother is a piece of garbage. And, let me tell you something, that stuff rings true to these kids and it stays in their head. And children as young as 3 and 4 years old can have all of this in their head, and they can go through life being, you know, inconsiderate. They can be insecure. They can be aggressive. They can act out because they think that they're at fault in the divorce. Keep children out of it. All right. When you're discussing, divorce with your spouse, let's say you guys are still in the same home. Little Johnny's around the corner, little Mary's around the corner. Let me tell you something. These kids are listening and they are watching. If you think that your shouting is not affecting them, if you think you're in the upstairs bedroom having a conversation with your spouse and your children are not listening, they are. I have heard so many stories of my clients' children who lock themselves in the bedroom because they are fearful of the shouting. A lot of children hurting themselves. Self-harm is a big thing with children who go through a divorce. So if you take yourself out of the situation of trying to be combative with your soon-to-be ex, keep the focus on the children. Keep the focus on, hey, if I say this, my child's going to hear this. My child's going to remember this. Be an example for your children. Let them see two parents going through a divorce, respecting one another, going to exchanges, meeting at the park, meeting at the restaurant, picking the child up at the other party's home. You know what? Say to your ex, hey, I hope you have a good night. Have a great weekend. The kids will be back Monday, or see you in a couple days. How was your day at work? I mean, when you go through parenting exchanges and you're actually talking to your ex or your soon-to-be ex as a friend, do you know how much farther that goes than to sit there and flip them off, call them every name in the book, let your children witness your bad behavior? Yes, it's your bad behavior. Kids will see this. And so many parents think that their children don't know what's going on. That is so untrue. Children watch, they mimic, they learn, they know. So approach it in a situation where no matter what behavior the other party has, good, bad, or indifferent, you are going to come into this approaching it with a mindset that you're going to do what's right. You're going to keep the peace and you're going to continue to be positive so that it doesn't affect your children. Okay? Sometimes people have to live together due to financial reasons, sometimes even after a divorce. They're in the same household. Yes, one has one bedroom, one has the other. But again, you don't need to go through the home slamming doors, calling this person a name, throwing something against the wall just because you're aggravated with the person you're divorcing. Look at divorce as a business deal. Okay, if you're selling a business or you're selling a restaurant or a car or whatever you're doing, you're going to sit down at a table with the person and you're going to negotiate. You're going to talk about what you guys are dividing and what the sale price is and blah, blah, blah. Do that. Put your business hat on. Take the emotions out of a divorce because emotions are the thing that get everybody riled up, threatening, and everything else, and then you're stressed out. Well, guess what? When you're stressed out, guess who feels it the most? Your children do. Pets even feel it. I've seen people who have had pet issues because the dog wouldn't eat for 3 days because the parties were going through a divorce. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. So keep grounded, keep the emotions out of it, and just put on your business hat and do what's right. Do what's right. Be the better person. It is so hard to be kind to people who are unkind to you, but you know what? It's also very hard to be unkind to a kind person. So if you're talking at a, good level, safe level communication, you're not derogatory, you're not raising your voice, you're not changing the tone, it's hard for a person to combat against that. And if they do, they're going to take a step back at some point and go, oh my gosh, like nothing is upsetting him. Nothing is upsetting her, but I'm over here acting a fool, throwing things. They will then sit with their self and look at the emotional baggage that they brought to it. So keep it calm, keep it simple. You can get a divorce and you could be divorced in 60 days. At least that's what it's here in Arizona. Some states are 90 days, but let me tell you something, 60 days goes incredibly fast. So how wonderful would it be for you to approach a divorce situation, say, okay, yeah, we're going to split this, we're going to split that debt, you take this, you take that. Okay, fine, perfect, happy. Everybody's happy, nobody's frustrated. One thing that comes up, a lot of people ask me is like, well, how do we divide the furniture in the house? Well, here's a really good tip for you. If you guys are leaving your family home and maybe taking 2 separate residences, flip a coin, okay? Whoever gets that head or tail or whatever you choose gets to pick one item first. Okay, so you're in the living room. Okay, I'll take that lamp. Perfect. I'll take the TV. Perfect. I'll take the flower arrangement. Perfect. I'll take the recliner. Just all of that stuff. It doesn't have to be like, you can't have anything. It's so childish how people act in a divorce. So if you can be the better person and you can keep your emotions in check, you are so much going to be better off than you ever thought of. And you're going to get through a divorce. You're going to look back and go, wow, that really wasn't so bad. There are divorces that drag on for years, 3, 4, 5 years sometimes. Do you want to do that? Do you want to emulate that stress to your children? Do you want to have that stress for yourself? Do you want to wake up every single day figuring out how to, come back and get back at this person? Let that go. Let that go. Seriously, divorce doesn't have to be difficult. Just don't make it difficult. All right. So I hope that was helpful. I'll be back with more tips on different, types of cases and things like that. I've got some clients that want to share some stories, some good, some awful. And I hope that those will be kind of a teaching point for you to hear what people have gone through and the amount of money that has been spent that you really don't need to do. Save your money for yourself, save your money for your children. Don't go blow it on, hundreds of thousands of dollars on attorneys. I mean, really and truly, you are grown. You can figure it out. Just be responsible and just be kind to one another. All right? Have a good day. Be blessed.